your question, I'm going to try to put some context on it if you don't mind. The approach the working group's been taking is that to meet the ESR, it'll be, as Councillor McGuire said, it'll be a modular plan, so that over a 40-year lifespan, this plan will meet the ESR requirements. The discussion at the table has been, since we're ultimately going to meet it at a 4-year period, that should meet the ESR and that should meet the granting criteria. So knowing that, what's going to happen in the next 20 years? Our current 20-year flow estimate is 2235. So when Stantec comes to us and says, when we're considering the size of the plant, or we're considering alternative technologies, what flow is planned for in 20 years, currently our direction is to say 2235. Your question is whether or not, do we need an engineer to develop? If we decided to change, or council decided to change that 2235, if council felt that 2235 made sense over 40 years but not over 20, do we need an engineer to develop a 20-year flow estimate? That is how I read the question. In honesty, no. I think between planning and myself and Nick, we could do it in-house. In practicality, I think we have to be honest with ourselves that this project is going to have a high level of scrutiny. Having a professional engineer, I'm not saying staff aren't credible, but in the public eye, you can't say the defense would be objectivity at that point. There would be no accusations on staff that staff weren't objective, that staff were furthering some agenda. I don't think that's our role, and I don't think we do it. So at that point, you just have to have a choice whether or not, if staff produce it, whether or not we'll be happy with that and we'll stand behind it, and it'll stand up to the face of criticism, or whether or not we prefer to have an engineer do that so that the engineer's work stands up to the face of criticism. I guess that's the decision you have to make.
That 2,300 years, what developments is that considering the 20-year plan? Where did you come up with that number?
That is what is in the ESR currently, yes. That's everything that the master plan and the ESR would do.
Councillor Russell.
Let's review the grant.
Okay.
It's not that I don't like talking to you.
I know.
When we talk this 24-year thing, the fact of the matter is you're in a position now with the working group, right, where you've got some deadlines. And Councillor Bond still asks the question of us, we should have this discussion about, our dollar, all these different dynamics we need to over time. What position are we in the time frame as for the working group and the technical needs right now? Is it time that we have a special meeting where we discuss these things to give you further direction, or are we just playing along with this? You see where I'm going?
Well, the working group set a deadline of August 31st.
So where are we as in terms of this?
We are very tight. I would suggest that, if I may be so bold, that we need to decide what our 20-year flow is going to be. If it's going to be 2235, that's fine. We'll take it back to the working group and communicate that, and we'll leave it that council has reviewed the flow, they're happy with it. It's off. Discussion doesn't need to happen because, like I said in the report, this is purely a Lancashire Shores issue. If council's felt that 2235 is more appropriate over an extended period of time, then we can probably need to discuss soon, but I think we discussed that tonight. So.
The plans that the working group is looking at, or whatever they're looking at, is a phased approach.
Yes.
Whether it's 20 years when it's not going to, 20 years we build that second phase, it's not, but it can be built at 15 years if it's required, or it can be built at 25 if it's required. So if this is the number we put in there, that when we build the second phase, that's what we go to, what's the issue?
I guess the issue is how big is the first phase.
Okay. Can the working group work with those numbers? This council has stated these are the numbers that we're with. We haven't reconsidered. Councillor Bonston.
I have a question for you, Mr. Mayor, and maybe for the rest of the council. Just came up with Zone 3 and 4. Zone 3 inclusion is part of the ESR, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. We have a moratorium on the EA. It's been withdrawn. For
we have no EA.
We have no EA. zone 3 in that mix with the knowledge that there is no EA and therefore no plan.
It's master plan.
No, but it's been changed.
There is the master plan.
We had the master plan, it was been changed. We have withdrawn the EA for zone 3. That is a considerable portion of the plans for this original plan. Zone 4 is on life support because we've talked about changing, so I'm just asking to not recognize that is that playing fast and loose with the rules. We know that zone 3 right now is not in it.
The master plan is over top of it.
No, but the master plan says zone 3.
Yeah.
We have changed the master plan by withdrawing zone 3. And we have asked for changes in zone 4 that the master plan would recommend. So master plans are dynamic plans. The original 06 plan, and I'm not comfortable with sitting here and saying, oh yeah, everything's the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. So I think, and I'll go back to this again, I know you're in a time crunch. I think we need to have a discussion at this table about what direction we're giving this working group. Yes, I understand the reconsideration, I get that. But I think there needs to be secondary direction in support of the reality that there is no zone 3 plan on the books.
Counselor Scott?
Is there a way that we can take this flow and we can do Plan 24's area, Zone 3's area, whatever other area, Zone 4's area, like, and have actual figures that say, Plan 24, 1,100 use, da-da, da-da. Can we do that? And then, without having Zone 3 and Zone 4 on the table at this point, even though they're future, can we say, let's just say it's 1,000, all right? Can we not say that 1,000 is what we have right now? That doesn't mean the plant can't be built for the
We know what we
23, 34.
require.
Can we not break it down into the simple part? Let's list it. Why can't we do that?
We know what's required and committed right now.
No, that's not what I'm asking. I know what's required and committed, and I know what we're talking about. I'm asking if we cannot break it down into simpler figures so that we actually can assign. So Zone 3 would have 2,000. Zone 1 would have 1,000. Can we not see a graph with that in, instead of having a total figure?
Counselor Owen?
Because all of that information exists, and it's in the ESR for the master plan. There are three EAs. There's an EA for the master plan, there's the EA for zone 3, and there's an EA for zone 4.
And our
And
report that we have on the flows has all those things broken down.
so
Okay.
there's
So-
3 separate EAs. All of those things are broken down, that
So at
information is
this
all available.
point, without the Zone 3, and you said Zone 4 as well in there, what does that leave? Plan 24 and then surrounding area?
It's all service area.
So phase 1 goes to that side?
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, if you have a breakdown with all these figures in, and right now we don't have an EA for one, and right now it's that much, then that's the beginning number, and you have an end number. I mean, that seems simple math to me.
Point of order, that's what the deputy was proposing, and this council just shot it down. What are we talking about? What's madness? Inventing the same thing over and over and expecting different results?
This council has just stated that we confirmed the numbers that are there, and in the working group, we asked them to work within those parameters. That was on the phasing.
But I don't think I was asking for those numbers not to be the same number. I was asking for an actual breakdown that they can aim towards. Like, if you don't have sewers there to go into a sewage treatment plant, you can't push the flow forward. It goes into a septic tank.
Councilor Owen?
Yes, we don't know in 20 years, we don't know what, once we get through this economic stretch, what grants are gonna be available. You have to be ready, you've gotta be ready with your plans so that you can take advantage of those things when they do occur. That's what council has said all along, that there won't be any collection systems until there is appropriate funding. But you have to have the plan, you have to be ready, and do we know in 20 years? It may be 25, it may, like you say, it may be 15. I don't understand why this has to be such an issue, because we need to build the plant for 40 years